Okay, for this demonstration, we're going to jump back into Photoshop and create a web ad. You'll need the class 13 files, and specifically the ones that are in the folder called Web Ad. In that folder, I've got 2 images of dogs, and you can select either one that you want to use. And I also have a white logo that we're going to use. So make sure that you have those images available if you want to follow along with me. I'm going to launch Photoshop. I'm going to create a new document. This time I'm going to make sure that I'm in web. Again, this is going to be a web ad, so I'm going to select web. I should be in pixels because web images are made up of pixels. I'm going to have the width of this ad at 600 pixels and the height of this ad at 400. The correct resolution for the web is 72. The correct color mode is RGB. Now you can decide what background you want, whether you want white or transparent. I'll start with transparent and I'll create. Now that I've got the document that I want open, I want to bring in that dog. So I'm going to go File, Open. I'm going to navigate to that folder, the Web Ad folder, and I'm going to select this golden retriever and I'm going to open it. And I want to bring that into my other file. So I'm going to go to my selection tool here, rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to draw a selection around the entire dog, and I'm going to go Edit, Copy, flip back to my ad and Edit, Paste. Okay, I'm going to move him in the document and reposition him a little bit here. I do want to have a background color for my ad, so I'm going to open up my layer palette. I'm going to create a new layer for that background. Scale this down a little bit, add a new layer. I'm going to bring the dog layer to the top by clicking and pulling up, and I'm going to select the bottom layer. I do want to make the background color based on maybe the coat of this dog. So I'm going to click on my color chip here. I'm going to move it over a little bit. When I do that, I get the eyedropper tool, and I can see when I click through the dog, it's moving the circle around in the larger color area here, and maybe I'll pick this based on kind of the light portion of the dog's coat and say OK. I'm going to go Edit, Fill, and I'm going to select foreground color, which is this color right here, foreground color, and OK. All right, I'm going to bring in that logo next, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go File. Actually, in this case, I'm going to do File, Place, Embedded, and I'm going to select the logo image, row over logo, white, and place it. And I am going to scale it down by holding my Control key and maybe moving it over here a little bit. I'm going to bring that dog down a little bit and move that logo over. Maybe I want to scale it up. And the reason I decided to do File, Place in this case is because it created a smart object, which we actually have been trying to avoid. Now, a smart object is a very good thing for a logo because when you scale it up, you won't be losing quality. Remember what I said earlier, when you scale something up and down in Photoshop, it's going to continue to recompress. And if you continue to do that to a logo, you're going to get fuzzy images. But it won't happen to a smart object. I'm looking right here because a smart object, in essence, is really a file within a file. So it's not going to hurt that original file. I am going to scale it up, so I'm going to select that layer and I'm going to go Edit, Free Transform, Scale, and scale that logo up. I actually need my Control key so I don't skew it. Move that dog over, readjusting things. And what I want to do is maybe reconsider my background color because I'm not really happy with the contrast here. So I think I'm going to do that first. I'm going to go to my color chip here And I'm going to make that background slightly darker. I'm going to go to my background color again and go edit fill and go to foreground, and I'm liking that better. Still feel I need to move that dog over. I want to give myself plenty of room for that text that I'm going to put here. I'm going to type out 5-star dog sitter in your neighborhood. I'm going to put it on pause and type that out. Okay, I have that all typed out, but there's a few things I'm noticing here. One, I don't like the type color, so I'm going to highlight the type. I'm going to come up here and change the color to maybe a dark brown. I'm going to scale it up a little bit. Readjust that text frame by grabbing the type tool. Pull that out a little bit. Okay. I am looking at the space between the lines. I may come back and adjust that a little bit, but I'm going to leave it be for right now. And since it's 5-star dog sitter in my neighborhood, maybe I want to put a series of stars up here. To do that, I'm going to go to my custom shape tool. I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to find a star. Here we go. If you're not seeing all these shapes, click on the gear icon and import shapes. I'm going to change the color to white. I'm going to click on the icon right here. I'm going to go straight to white and say OK. The return key to get that out of the way. And I want 5 of these, so I'm just going to duplicate this layer. So I'm going to go layer, duplicate, and say OK. Duplicate it again. By the way, you can always use the flyout menu as well to duplicate a layer. And I'm going to do that 5 times. Duplicate layer, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Duplicate layer and say OK. Right now all the stars are sitting on top of each other, so I'm going to go to another of these layers and move that star out. I'll go to my next layer and move it out, the next layer and move it out, and I've got one more star hiding on me and move it here. I'm going to select all these layers, hold down my shift key and select them all. And I'm going to use my alignment tools to align the spaces in between. And since I have them all selected, I'm going to scale them down at the same time as well by going Edit, Free Transform, Scale, and I'm going to scale them down as a group. Holding my Option key to scale them down proportionally, hitting the return key, and then I'm going to move them as well. All right, at the bottom here, what I want to do is do another line of type. So I'm going to pull out another text box and type out $25 off, hit the return key, your first night, to scale that text box up, your first, hit the return key, night. Okay. And based on the typeface that I've selected, I've got all caps, but you can make a better selection than that if you want. I'm going to scale that type down just a little bit. And I do want to decrease the line spacing or the leading, so I'm going to select that. I'm going to open up the character palette and bring down that leading. That increased it. I'll try 30. I want a little bit more. By the way, this is a slider. And I want to make the 25 off stand out. So what I'm going to do is change the color of that to maybe the tongue color here. Oh, that's not good enough. To a bright red. And maybe scale that little bit up. Okay, I want to move things a little bit more, so I'm going to move all those stars up again. I'm going to move my other line of type up as well, so I need to find that in my layer palette, which is here. I'm going to move that up. I'm going to find that 25% off layer, move that up. And what I like to do is I actually like to put all my type on the top, so I'm going to move all my lines of type at the top so they're easier to find. And maybe even that logo so I can find that quickly. So I'm just moving all my type layers around, organizing things a little bit better. I'm going to select both of these layers and move them. I still think they're a little bit too big, so I'm going to scale them down together, meaning this type layer and this type layer. So I'm going to go Edit, Free Transform, Scale, and I'm going to scale them down, holding my Shift key, hit the Return key, realign them. I wanted to give myself room for a button down here, so I'm going to create a button. I'm going to go to my rounded rectangle tool and pull out a button shape. My property palette pops open. I'm going to go ahead and click and maybe pick this color. Next, I want to put a line of type right on top of this rectangle, so I'm going to go to my type tool. I'm going to click, and instead of the lorem ipsum, I'm going to type out find a sitter. I'm going to move that line of text inside that rectangle, align it real well. And I'm going to change the color of that to white. I do want to make sure that all my text is aligned, so I'm going to go back to my layer palette and I'm going to select my lines of type, also that rounded rectangle, and align everything to the center. Again, you can use your arrow keys to tweak things over. Maybe I want to move this button up a little bit, so I'm going to select both of those layers, move that up, maybe move those lines of text down a little bit, and I'm going to grab those stars, which, by the way, I link together by coming down here and linking them so they move as a group. And I'm going to move that logo over as well. Okay, making sure everything's aligned. Maybe adjust the dog again, maybe move him over slightly. Now, I do want to make sure that I have a rectangle around the whole ad, and just kind of like a stroke. So I'm going to go to my top layer here, create a new layer. I'm going to move it to the top. I'm going to pull out a selection, and then I'm going to go Edit, Fill Stroke. This pops open. I'm going to change the stroke color to maybe that brown. I can decide how thick I want it. I'll leave it at 5 and say OK. Now I've got a stroke around that ad. I'm going to go select Deselect. To save it for the web, I want to go File, Export, Export As, and I'm going to save it out as a JPEG. Export, and I'm going to save it as Web Ad, change the name, and save. To see how that looks in a browser, I can open up a browser. I can find the JPEG on my desktop, and I can hold it and drop it right in the web browser address bar, and I can see how it looks in a browser. Now for the exercise, I'm going to go back. It asks you to find a web color, a certain web color. I'm going to click here. And I want you to notice that in the color picker, you have a hexadecimal number area. You can type different numbers in here. A hexadecimal is 5 digits that stand for a color. In your next exercise, or exercise 11, I'm asking you to put a specific hexadecimal number in here.